A very pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the People's Forum of In the Streets with Big Stone. We just want to ask the question to the Rastafarian community. The Rastafarian community where we are lax upon the head. The Rastafarian community where believe in Emperor Haile Selassie as God Almighty. The Rastafarian community where know the worth of Rastafari from them time till this hour. More remind the item of some things. See? Because this situation with Nzinga King happened from the 22nd of July. See? And today the 3rd of August 2021. See? And I know me not see no drastic measures or march or protests by the Rastafarian community. Me need not talk about the rest of Jamaica, even though this is an action for the whole away in Jamaica, not just Rastafari. See, so let me just refresh your memory about the things that were happening to Rastafari. I could go back to the Coral Garden incident of 1963, and I could just go to an Observer newspaper article. This come out Friday the 25th of December 2015, where the public defender at that time, Arlene Harrison Henry, made these statements and call upon the state and said the state must apologize and compensate Rastas. Public defender Arlene Harrison Henry on December 9, 2015 sent an explosive report to Parliament, the result of an investigation into several incidents, including the blood-stained Coral Garden affairs, for which she has recommended reparation and apology by the Jamaican state to Rastafari. The Jamaica Observer presents part 6 and final of an edited version of the report. It is not only Rastafarians who share their experience of abuse by police and civilians. Other person reminiscing and recounting the observation during the throes of the Coral Garden incident as the effects spread across the country. Some of the testimonies are recorded below. Mr. Aston Garrell. Mr. Garrell said that he witnessed Prime Minister Alexander Bustamante giving the order to bring in Rastas. Mr. Luther Irving, he witnessed Rastas in lockup at Barnett Street Police Station. He said the Rastas looked sad and thirsty and were begging for water. Miss Erica Johnson, she witnessed a Rastafarian by the name of Bongo Rashi being arrested and abused. She saw her brother, who was a barber, helping Rasta to voluntarily trim. Since 1963, Holy Thursday had bad memories for her up till this day. Sylvester Sayers, on Good Friday 1963, he was living in the era of Rasta camp. He witnessed firsthand the rounding up of Rastafarian by police. He had to hide to avoid the police, and so he relocated to Westmoreland. Ralston Donaldson, he was not in St. James on that fateful Friday in 1963 because he had left on Holy Thursday to visit his grandmother in Hanover and returned to Montego Bay the day after Good Friday. Ralston Donaldson had 3 children with Rudolph Franklin's daughter, so he knew Rudolph Franklin. He said that Franklin was a Rastafari sympathizer but not a Rastafarian. Alric Denham, on April 11, 1963, he traveled from Kingston to Montego Bay on the train. He went to the hospital and saw several dead Rastas on the ground. He saw a truck at the police station with bone Rastas and police using bayonet to poke Rastas. He saw bundled Rastas fall from the truck. He saw Rastas being hosed. Trevor Craig, on April 12, 1963, he saw Rasta being hosed and beaten. They were tied up and bloody for many years after he had nightmares. Sonia Edwards, in 1963, she lived in a Rasta commune in Granville, St. James, where Rasta were a tradesman and co-med. On April 12, 1963, the police came, rounded up the Rastafarian in the commune and ordered them to lie flat on the ground. She witnessed the police take a Rasta off the pit toilet and beat him. She saw a policeman stole £4 from one Rasta. She saw her stepmother being verbally abused. Many Rastas fled into hiding and many cut their locks. She went to take clothes for the Rastas at the police station, but the police refused to accept the clothes. She witnessed a Rasta named Banjan Roper being beaten by police officers. Cleveland Hamilton. In 1963, he was living in Glendale, Montego Bay. He was a member of the Ethiopian World Federation Local 32. He became afraid based on the news report. He was hearing on the radio of incidents involving Rastafarians, so his family moved all pictures of Haile Selassie from the house. The president of the organization, Harvey Brown, was detained, beaten, and trimmed. Senior Superintendent Everald Rose retired. In April 1963, this police officer was stationed at Barney Street Police Station. The division headquarters and the area headquarters were relocated at Barney Street. On April 11, 1963, he was at the station when he heard about what happened at Carroll Gardens. There was a large crowd at the police station in the afternoon, including many Rastafarians who were detained. As the day progressed, more Rastafarians were brought in as a result of what happened at Carroll Gardens. They were retained for various reasons, questioned, processed, and put in cells. The station was filled to its capacity, and Rastafarians therefore had to be taken to other police stations in Hanover, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Anne. Retired Superintendent Road does not recall seeing Prime Minister Bustamante at the station, nor does he recall seeing any Rastafarian being beaten or sprayed with water. Special Sergeant James Marshall retired. Retired Special Sergeant Marshall was stationed at the Barnett Street Police Station in April 1963. He was involved in the confrontation between the police and the Rastas at Carroll Garden. He said that he witnessed the killing of several persons, including a police officer and Rastafarians. Upon his return to the police station, he saw Prime Minister Alexander Bustamante, Minister of Home Affairs Mr. Ron McNeil, and Commissioner of Police Mr. Andrew Locke. He saw Prime Minister Bustamante stand on the staircase and says, "All Rastaman must come in." After that, civilians began to carry Rastafaris into the station. They would bound the Rastafarian with rope, put them in motor vehicle, drive to Barney Street, and simply throw them out on the street in front of the police station. In a short time, the lockup became filled with Rastafarian. Some had to be moved to neighboring police station lockup, which also soon became filled. He stated that up to that point, the police officers had not received any instruction from their superiors as how to proceed. Some of the Rastafarians were charged, others were not. The following day, Special Sergeant Marshall received instruction from Superintendent Ricketts, directed him to go to Amblin in Trelawney to seek Rastas to bring them into the station. He witnessed barbershop filled with Rastamen cutting off their locks. He said he did not see any Rastafarian being beaten by police or civilians. However, he recalls some having wheals on their skin when they arrived at the station. The Commissioner of Police assembled a police group to search different areas. He said they searched many men, not only Rastafarian. Special Corporal Clinton Summers retired. On April 12, 1963, he was at home when he heard about what happened in Carroll Garden from a neighbor. He went to Barney Street Police Station where he saw a crowd of police officers talking about Carroll Gardens. 2 civilians offered to fly their planes to assist in the search for the Rastas. He heard that Superintendent Scott had been killed, so he went to the hospital to see the body. Upon his return to the police station, he observed that police officers were agitated and boisterous. They were loud, saying they wanted to go out and earth down these involved in the killing of their colleagues. He witnessed Prime Minister Bustamante, the Minister of Home Affairs McNeil, and Commissioner of Police Locke. He described how these 3 officials addressed the police officers at the station, according to the retired Special Corporal. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is just part of a serious report that came out many years ago. And this touches the cause of my heart. That situation like this can happen in 1963 and in the year 2021, as late as July 22nd, when a little girl, 19-year-old, right, went through the same identical ordeal as these grown Rasta men back in those days. I want to ask a question now. What are we going to do about this one? Are we going to just sit back idly and just fuck around and just say, well, boy, it's just another situation, and we're going to talk about politics and we're going to talk about this and that? This has nothing to do with politics. This has everything to do with a person's constitutional rights. Now, we could go into the constitutional rights of a Jamaican, not just Rastafarian. Let's go to the constitutional rights, because more than them understand your rights. The constitutional rights say the fundamental rights and freedoms secured by the Constitution and which are enforceable are a freedom of the person, right to personal liberty, a protection of the freedom of movement, a protection from inhuman treatment, a protection for privacy of home and other rights, a right to a fair trial, a protection of freedom of conscience, a protection of freedom of expression, a protection of freedom of assembly and association, a protection from discrimination. Now, Jamaica, when I go march in thousands now, we should have did do that from Emancipation Day, because guess what? We know emancipated if them thing can happen the 22nd of July 2021. How emancipated are we? What? What's wrong with us? Something is in the air, and get the Rastafari community that was here as the role model to lead our youths to a righteousness. Wagwan. Me no know Wagwan Rasta. Me no know where the Rasta man them there. The Rasta man them were used to burn some serious fire. I want to talk literal fire, what about spiritual fire. See, where the Rasta man them there? The Rasta man them gone, brother. The Rasta man them lose it. Me want to see what on the 6th of August, if we ever celebrate independence, and we ever bungle up like how them bungle up in 1963 and cut off for locks them. So make a bungle up, Rasta. Make a bungle up in thousands, hundreds of thousands. Make a bungle up at Emancipation Park. Make a bungle up on Nelson Mandela Park. Make a bungle up in front of Devon House. Make a bungle up in front of Garden House. Make a bungle up everywhere. And bungle up for your rights. See, I want to see how Rasta are going to deal with this one. I am sick, but I'm going to be part of the bungling. Because guess what? I am a Rasta. Rasta from birth and Rasta till the day I die. Rastafari now and Rastafari forever. Give thanks for watching.